high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by...
At Central Maine Community College,
I'm going to be a pathologist.
There is something for everyone.
An athletic trainer, physical therapist.
Your future starts here.
And Coram Credit Union, inspired by brighter futures and proud to support students, athletes, and the community. Learn more at ancoramcu.com.
Coastal Auto Parts, selling Napa auto parts since 1981. Owned and operated by a Maine family and proud to support student athletes.
Hammond Lumber Company, serving contractors, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers with building supplies and custom services from 34 locations across Maine.
From the Augusta Civic Center, it's the 2026 MPA Boys Class D State Final, presented by Hammond Lumber, between the Machias Bulldogs and the Monmouth Academy Mustangs.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Augusta Civic Center for the Class D Boys State Championship basketball game between the Machias Bulldogs and the Monmouth Academy Mustangs. I'm Brandon Terrell alongside BL Lippert. And BL, nice crowd in here tonight and a great matchup between two tough teams.
Yeah, two really good teams that are playing their best basketball at the right time. Monmouth's won 10 in a row. Machias has been really dominant all year. Can't wait to see how this one plays out.
Bit of a clash of styles. Machias comes in with a size advantage. Monmouth has won a lot of games in recent years and a lot of sports, so that maybe they have the experience edge in big games. How do you like that one playing out throughout this one?
Yeah, this Monmouth team has played a lot of games, particularly on this floor over the years. It's a little bit of an advantage that way, the shorter drive. And this Machias team, as you said, really talented team, definitely a size advantage on the glass, but Monmouth's proven to be pretty gritty on the glass. We'll see if that translates into this state final.
We're going to focus first on the Machias Bulldogs. As you see, they are average 71 points per game in the regular season, down to just 62 in the tournament. But in their lowest total of the year was 51 points. They can really fill it up.
Yeah, they can score the basketball. Mickey Fitzsimmons leading the way. The coach's kid, 1,000-point scorer. Liam O'Connor, really dominant guard as well. So they got some size on the interior, two guards. That's a good way to win a lot of basketball games.
160 miles across the state of Maine to get here to the Augusta Civic Center for this one. And Machias is going to be ready to go. And Coach Fitzsimmons is going to have his son Mickey and his Chargers ready to play. Over on the other side, the Monmouth Academy Mustangs. As we take a look, Monmouth averaged 60 points a game, but they do it with defense as they gave up 43 points per game in the regular season, just 42 in the tournament.
Yeah, really impressed with the defensive effort, especially in the regional final. They see the scores from the regional itself, only 40 points against Telstar, 46 against a good Madison team, and 42 against a high-powered offense of Mount Abram. They really slowed down. It's defense first. They get some guards that can fill it up, and they're used to winning and playing on this floor, as I said.
Levi Laverdier, one of the players to watch there on your screen. He's their high scorer. Tyler Day doesn't even start for them. Why is he a key player on the screen?
He just comes on the floor, midway through the first quarter, and sometimes he doesn't go back off very often. Coach has a lot of trust in him. Talked to Wade Morrill during the week. He said you can make the case he's arguably one of our best players, and would start on a lot of teams, and knows his role, loves his role, and he's really been a key piece for this team in this February run.
5 losses on the season by this Monmouth Academy Mustangs team. They haven't lost since January 16th, though, and they were tough losses as they lost to the top 3 seeds in Class C and 2 of the other best teams in Class D. They feel like they are battle-tested. They are used to being outsized, and they're going to go right after the Machias Bulldogs.
Yeah, they absolutely are. They've done a really good job on the glass in the regional tournament. That has to be true here tonight for them to come out with the state championship.
Monmouth, these boys have done a lot of winning. They've been to 4 regional finals in soccer. They lost the state final this fall to Fort Fairfield. They have played in 5 regional finals in basketball in a row. They won states in 2024. And in baseball, they've won 4 state titles and had a ton of regional finals in a row.
They certainly have. It's a winning town, and we'll see if they can pull off another one tonight.
And we're ready now to send it to the PA microphone and Mr. Hopkins.
Remind you that interscholastic athletics are an extension of the classroom. We ask that you support all student athletes, coaches, officials, and spectators with positivity throughout today's contest. Thank you in advance for your support of sportsmanship and of the 2026 MPA Maine State Basketball Tournament presented by Hammond Lumber Company. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hammond Lumber Company Auditorium at the Augusta Civic Center for the Maine Class D Boys State Championship game between the Northern Maine champion Machias Bulldogs, the visitors in the dark uniforms, and the Southern Maine champion Monmouth Academy Mustangs, the home team in the light uniforms. Our officials this afternoon are Miss Graffam, Mr. Underwood, and Mr. Gruber. The official scorer, David Burns. The timer is Rusty Hopkins, and on the score clock is Dave Tortolot. Before announcing the starters, we'll introduce each team member. From Machias, wearing number 4, Gage Holland. Number 11, Wyatt Hunter. Number 12, Wesley Bragg. Number 15, Brady Ferguson. Number 30, Cameron Silver. Number 32, Hudson Avery. And number 52, TJ Holmes. From Monmouth Academy, wearing number 0, Braylon LaFond. Number 1, Zane Foyt. Number 5, Tyler Johnson. Number 12, Max Robitaille. Number 13, Tyler Day. Number 14, Tyson Bryant. Number 15, Devin Sangamano. Number 21, Calvin Lovering. Number 32, Josh Iwuyanu. And number 50, Liam Ennis. And now for the starting lineups for today's game. At forward for Machias, a junior, standing 5'11", number 10, Dallas Richardson. At forward for Monmouth, a sophomore, standing 5'11", number 10, Gavin Parsons. At forward for Machias, a senior, standing 6'4", number 50, Landon Barrett. At forward for Monmouth, a junior, standing 6 feet, number 23, Jacob Harmon. At center for Machias, a senior, standing 6'6", number 23, Caden Carter. At forward for Monmouth, a senior, standing 6'1", number 3, Rory Foyt. At guard for Machias, a senior, standing 5'10", number 3, Liam O'Connor. At guard for Monmouth, a junior, standing 5'8", number 2, Levi Laverdier. At guard for Machias, a senior, standing 6'2", number 24, Mickey Fitzsimmons. And at guard for Monmouth, a senior, standing 5'8", number 4, Aiden Oliveira. The coach for Machias is Chad Fitzsimmons. The coach for Monmouth is Wade Morrow.
All right, keys to the game you see on your screen here. BL, first for Machias.
They could dial up the defenses. They do a really good job, as well as anybody in this state, of mixing up the defense, full court, half court, man, zone. They got to find the 8-0 runs. They had a bunch of times in the tournament where they're down a couple, go on an 8-0 run. Up by a few, go on 8-0 run to ice it, 8-0 run to ice it. And so that's really something they've shown. Got to continue to do that. And for Monmouth, their defense, which you talked about in the pregame, really good job against Mount Abram. And they got to continue that here tonight, as being undersized. And the second chance points. Monmouth takes a lot of three-pointers. You're going to miss some of those. You got to track down the offensive rebounds. Rory Fort, number 3, 6 offensive rebounds in the regional final. He's going to do something similar tonight to pull this out.
And going to try to keep the Bulldogs off of the offensive rebounds on the other end. 6'6", 6'3" on the front court for the Bulldogs. Considerably less than that for the Mustangs. But they're used to this. And we'll see as Parsons with the upset wins the tip. Laverdier attacks the basket and blocked by Carter out of bounds.
Yeah, there you see the size right away. Laverdier gets in there and then finds out that Caden Carter's lurking and sends that one out of there.
That position didn't matter. Carter's long arms from behind blocked that one out of bounds and erased that shot attempt. Harmon in the corner. Barrett guarding him now. Out to Laverdier, round to Oliveira. Personnel, Gavin Parsons tries to find some space. And Laverdier now, Oliveira. Half-court man-to-man to start with here from the Bulldogs. Inside Harmon, he'll stop and pop. Back rim, no. And there's the offensive rebounds we talked about. And traveling violation called.
Kind of awkward there. The ball was between the legs of Caden Carter. You'll see here on the replay. And Harmon trying to grab it. I guess they determined he did have it and then traveled in the process.
That'll be a turnover. And Machias, Mickey Fitzsimmons, 6'1", handles the ball a lot for the Bulldogs. And Richardson leaves to Barrett now, back to Richardson. He wants a dribble handoff. Good denial by the Mustangs. Caden Carter gets up. And that shot attempt, he's fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Yeah, looks like he got hit on the elbow there, just elevating here. You'll see in the replay. Pretty good positioning by Oliveira. Just goes over the top of him and he hit him right on the right elbow on the fall through.
Caden Carter shooting 2.
Carter will shoot 2. First one's good. 6.3 points per game in the regional tournament.
And Wade Morrill's arguing the foul should be on 4, not number 2.
Yeah, you could clearly see in our replay that it was on Oliveira, number 4.
Yeah, the foul should be on 4. We'll see if they're able to come to that conclusion. I think they're going to leave it.
Justin Underwood goes to talk to the scorer's table. And they're going to leave it on number 2. Laverdier and Oliveira look a lot alike. They're about the same size. They get the same haircut. Tough to confuse them, but so that will stay on Laverdier. Carter misses the second one. Now Gavin Parsons. And Laverdier, deep three-pointer. Oh, nothing but net.
Nothing but net there from Laverdier. And
that was halfway to Vassalboro, BL.
Yeah, streaky shooter to hit your first one of the night. That's a good start for him.
O'Connor tied up in the paint. Now Fitzsimmons. He calls for a ball screen and gets it. Needs an outlet, finds O'Connor. O'Connor works against Laverdier. He's quick to the hole, puts up a tough 2, doesn't get it. Harmon with the rebound.
We saw Harmon. He's not as tall as the other guys inside, but he is certainly strong. Carved out some space and held onto it.
Parsons on the wing. Thought about Harmon inside. Now Laverdier. And we got an illegal screen called on Rory Foyt up top.
Yeah, Foyt setting the screen there. Laverdier coming around, trying to run something similar to what they just ran. Here's the screen. You'll see sliding out, little hip check there. Coach Fitzsimmons helped the call there, so that's an illegal screen. They got it.
1 on Foyt, 1 on Laverdier. To keep an eye on that storyline here early in the first quarter. Barrett, possession up top. Leaves for O'Connor. O'Connor goes baseline, cut off by Laverdier. Back to O'Connor. He tries to find a crease. Good on-ball defense here by the Mustangs. Nothing easy for Machias.
Yeah, really good job man-to-man, getting out in the passing lanes, denying. This is what Wade Morrill teams are built on.
Nick Fitzsimmons. And that's going to be a moving screen. Teams trade turnovers. Offensive fouls.
Yeah, Rory Foyt said to the ref, same thing I just did. He does here. You'll see in this case, Foyt's about to be screened.
Machias timeout.
Illegal screen, timeout coming from Coach Fitzsimmons and Machias.
Yeah, Coach Fitzsimmons didn't like the look of that offensive possession. And Maine public would like to remember Chris Thornton, who was a lifelong high school basketball fan. Chris supported today's coverage by making a bequest to Maine public. His gift helps produce this statewide tradition for all to enjoy. For more information how you can support our coverage, call Marchoden at 207-330-4510.
A couple of legal screens here offensively. Both teams look a little bit tight from an offensive perspective outside of the three-pointer that Laverdier hit from about halfway to the mid-court stripe. It's been a little bit of a slow start. You could see the Monmouth defense that we talked about so much. Really, really good so far.
Yeah, Machias didn't like the looks of their offense there. They tried to get some ball screens and dribble hands off. Nothing was really working for them. So Coach Fitzsimmons, early timeout here in the first quarter, to talk that over and fix it up. Oliveira inside the trees, and he's fouled. It'll be a baseline inbounds. He wasn't shooting.
Got a foul here. Is it going to go on Carter? Let's see. It's definitely on the pass. Good catch here. He goes up and across the lane. They're going to say Carter hit him on the head.
See, Carter had one block early in that one. Oliveira, the senior, smart to not try to shoot and give Carter his second block. And now Carter takes a seat.
Freshman TJ Holmes is going to check in for him.
Bounce pass into Harmon. Harmon up and under for two.
And right away they go at the freshman. And Jacob Harmon scores it.
Mickey Fitzsimmons in search of an answer here. See what the timeout did for their offense as he gets a high ball screen. Leaves it for Richardson inside Barrett. He has Harmon on him. Kick out three-pointer on the way. No. How about that box out by Harmon?
Getting Barrett out of there by putting his backside into him, carve him out. Nice job by the big man.
Great execution defensively and on the defensive glass early in this one for the Mustangs. Laverdier up top. Now Parsons, Fitzsimmons on him. Harmon's going to take a deep three-pointer. Back rim, no. And the rebound, though, comes down to Parsons. Laverdier, swish!
Deep ball covers up his ears. He is feeling it. Levi,
I can't hear you. Monmouth on top, 8-1 early on. O'Connor wants an answer, throws it out of bounds.
I'm keeping an eye on Coach Fitzsimmons. He's keeping his composure. Really key right now is to exude and show some confidence in your boys, although right now offensively they are not getting on track.
We said they will dial up defenses. They come with some zone press here. Monmouth needs a press breaker. Now over the top. Press is broken. Laverdier back to Oliveira.
They better find Laverdier coming out of that zone and match up with him.
He's made two deep threes already. He's starting to feel it here in the state final. And here he is again, now in the corner. Drives baseline. Baseline jumper. Front rim, no. Fitzsimmons leads the break. He trips.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a foul. It's going to be 2 on Foyt. No?
I don't know. I couldn't.
No, that's on Harmon?
Number 23,
that was Harmon. A little trip from behind. Somebody got him. Wasn't on purpose. But definitely a trip.
So Harmon's first. Barrett will sideline inbounds for the Bulldogs. First quarter almost half gone. Machias still stuck on 1 point.
I don't think Fitzsimmons has had a shot attempt.
Quick hands there by Gavin Parsons to knock that away from Barrett. Foyt gets on the floor, and it's another turnover.
Some of the gritty defense we talked about. Balls on the floor. Fitzsimmons reached, but it was Foyt that dove and secured the rebound, or the turnover, I should say.
Parsons on the wing. He'll drive baseline, go to the basket, put it high off the window. No.
That's number 2 on Foyt, maybe?
Yep.
It is.
So Foyt was so pivotal in the regional final against Mount Abram.
See the baseline drive by Parsons. Little floater catches nothing. And on the back side of that, a little bump in the back, you can see TJ Holmes getting pushed forward. And we'll see a little confusion here on.
So Foyt was so huge in the regional final against Mount Abram. He was outsized, but he battled on the boards and got himself a double-double. And now he's got 2 fouls here in the first quarter. He's going to have to sit, and Josh Iwu-Anyanwu is in for the Mustangs.
And Tyler Day in, the freshman that we talked about in the open.
8-1, Mustangs on top. Machias in search of some offense. O'Connor gets to the basket, puts up a tough left hand, no. And it's going to go to Monmouth.
That time Machias goes 5 out to try to open up some driving lanes. O'Connor got in there, but the defense collapsed, took a tough shot, and it went out of bounds.
O'Connor, by the time he gets to the basket, he's surrounded by 3 Mustangs.
And clearly tipped out of bounds by Machias.
Turns it into a tough shot, and Iwu-Anyanwu dribbles up the sideline. Harmon, kick out. Laverdier had to bend over to catch the pass. Left the shot short.
Yeah, that's it. The pass sets up the shot that time. Got to bounce it multiple times to get to him. He went on you. Uh-oh. He went on you. I'm close.
You're getting there.
Josh I, we're going to call him.
There we go. And the foul goes on Iwu Anyanwu. And that's 5 on Monmouth. Machias is shooting the rest of the quarter.
It's a chance for Fitzsimmons to see one go through. The senior guard, 1,000-point score.
Fitzsimmons averaged 13.7 points per game in the regional tournament. Gets his first there.
Average 18 a game in the regular season. Also 7 assists, 5.5 rebounds, and 3 steals.
Have a push in the rebound action. That's going to go on Machias. They get Barrett.
I think they got Holmes. They did, yep.
TJ Holmes.
Freshman that came in when Caden Carter picked up his foul.
We have a 2-2-1 full court press applied here by Machias. Right into Oliveira past that front line. He'll break the press himself now, set up half-court offense. Day runs through the baseline. They decline that. Reverse it the other way. Now Laverdier takes it on a drive. They find Day. He's open for 3. Hand in his face. Back rim, no. Rebound fought for, and that's won for a moment by Richardson, but ultimately by Harmon.
Josh Harmon's hustle, tracking down rebounds, a storyline here early.
Monmouth gets another look at it. 2.5 remaining opening quarter. Laverdier has made a couple deep threes in this quarter. It's been the difference. Laverdier now on the left side, drives to the basket, cut off by Barrett, tried to draw the foul and couldn't.
Barrett went straight up. Laverdier initiated the contact. Now we get 2-on-1.
Fitzsimmons leaves it for Richardson, and they get 2.
First field goal of the game there from Wyatt Hunter, another freshman.
Tyler Day dribbles through traffic. Oliveira does as well. Now back dribbles. Harmon sets it up. So a zone defense here, 1-2-2 variety, 1-3-1. Hard to tell at the moment.
And even off the bench, they've got some length defensively.
Monmouth works zone offense. Oliveira gets into the paint, and he's fouled on the floor.
Now foul shots for either team, and they're fouled for the duration of this quarter. There's a little reach there for Fitzsimmons. Oops. Richardson.
4th team foul on Machias. Both teams are going to shoot 2 the rest of this quarter.
Oliveira checking out.
Tyler Johnson into the game for the Mustangs. Harmon. Going to screen the screener play there, and that's knocked out of bounds off of Harmon. It'll be a turnover.
A tough pass to go from this block to the opposite block. Bounce pass just out of the reach of Harmon and tipped out of bounds.
Full court press supplied here from Monmouth. Looks like a man-to-man variety. And Tyler Johnson going to earn the turnover. But the crossover didn't work. Gavin Parsons now back to Laverdier. Wanted a deep 3. Now he takes the deep 3, and he misses it side rim. Reach-in foul on Harmon.
That's going to be his second. Those are the ones you probably don't want to give up, especially because it's going to lead to 2 shots on the other end. But he's a key piece of this. 2 fouls for him, 2 on Foyt. It's becoming a bit of a storyline for Monmouth early.
23, Jacob Harmon, personal foul number 2.
So Dallas Richardson, junior guard, gets to walk the length of the Civic Center floor to shoot 2. Misses the first. And we talked in the open. This Machias team averaged 71 points per game in the regular season, 62 in the tournament. 51 is their lowest total of the entire season. They're sitting on 4 points here, almost the end of the first quarter, as Richardson misses both.
0 for 2 hurts. You got to see some points go through the hoop. Claw your way back in this early.
Day now back dribbles to the tip-off circle. Monmouth wants to run some time and shorten this quarter. Laverdier. Now Day. Day gets to the elbow and through. Parsons. Laverdier now leaves to Harmon. Parsons. That's to Laverdier. Laverdier drives, makes some space, and that's blocked by Fitzsimmons.
Great job staying on his feet, then elevating at the right time to get the block.
Fitzsimmons now coast to coast. Tough two put up, no. And rebound pulled out of there by Harmon.
Harmon's got to have a half a dozen rebounds here.
Parsons rips through. He's cut off. Gets it back to Day. 15 seconds. Coach Morrow wants the last shot of the first quarter. Laverdier. Ball on his hip. Now 5 seconds remain. He'll get in motion. Jab step. Tries to step back. And that's going to be no good. Put back is late. And no good as well. That's going to do it. After 1 quarter of action, Monmouth Academy Mustangs on top 8-4 over the Machias Bulldogs. We'll have the second quarter for you after this. Watching Maine High School Basketball State Championships on Maine Public.
Production of high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by...
At Thomas College, we do college differently. We do academics differently. We do community differently. We do careers differently. It's time to do college differently.
Sheridan Construction, a Maine company committed to building on their promise for over 75 years.
The environment is just awesome.
Great campus, small, close-knit community.
Everyone's really welcoming.
Everything feels very personal.
You feel like you belong here.
Want to watch a game, this game again, or maybe a game you played in? Become a member and get access to Passport, Maine Public streaming service. With games going back to 2010 and more being added, you could relive a great game and support this broadcast at the same time. Go to mainepublic.org, support this broadcast, and get Passport. And thank you. See Gene Nichols there from Machias, the one-man band.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good.
He had a ukulele, electric ukulele he was working on earlier. That was a slide guitar, it looked like. He's got a bongo drum down there, all kinds of stuff. Tip of the cap to Gene Nichols. Machias now looking for more points here in the second quarter, stuck on 4. As Monmouth Academy defense has been as advertised, stingy. A nice job on the defensive glass, keeping Machias and their tall front line off the offensive boards. Inside, Caden Carter, quick hands by Tyler Day to knock it away.
Tyler Day digging down there. And Carter put it on the deck. He stole it pretty easily.
Now Monmouth. Day explodes to the hoop. Now fadeaway jumper is pure.
A big-time steal, followed by a big-time move. Look at this tip.
They try to go up and above to Carter. And Jake Harmon landed right on his side or his tailbone, or he's in some pain as that was a big-time collision. It fell to the floor hard. Jake Harmon might need a sub.
And that's going to be 2 on Caden Carter, who got 1. They took him out immediately, and he's coming back out again.
And they tried the lob over the top to the big fella, and it was just too late, saw it too late, and the ball was too low, and Harmon landed right on Carter's knee to his back. That couldn't have felt good.
Yeah, good job getting back defensively, and they called the foul on Carter. They both went up for it. Harmon had better position. Foul goes against Caden Carter. That's huge.
Machias in a half-court zone defense. Or are they? Looks like, no, I guess it's man-to-man. Now Day, spin dribbles in the paint, tries to find a sight line to the basket, and can't. Now he'll dribble it back out and reset. He'll take Fitzsimmons on a drive to the basket, tried to dish it off, nobody home. Day gets it back. Laverdier now dribbles to the top of the key. They continue to run offense. Gavin Parsons steps into a 3-ball, no good. And how about Oliveira getting up? The challenge for that rebound, but he stepped on the end line.
Yeah, great job by Aiden Oliveira to get up there and get a piece of it, tip it to himself, but he stepped on the end line when he tried to throw it back in. But again, the storyline we mentioned in the pregame, this Monmouth defense, and nothing has come easy. 1 field goal make, 2 free throws is all of Machias can muster thus far.
Harmon still trying to stretch that back out as Machias gets a ball screen up top, leaves it for Barrett. Big guy drives to the basket, And tough angle 2 gets it to go.
Good job settling the feet down, elevating off 2 feet and laying it in over Harmon.
Press breaker here, Machias in the 2-2-1. Day dribbles through, finds the Vertier open in the corner. 3 ball, no. Rebound, Harmon almost had it. Goes to Machias.
Yeah, Laverdier, hot start. He's missed his last 3. He's going to keep shooting. Shoot or shoot. We've seen enough of him to know he's going to shoot.
Now Liam Ennis in for the Mustangs, senior forward. And Harmon's going to take a seat and rest that back. O'Connor now crosses over, gets into the front court, blows by one guy, another. Fitzsimmons going to take a 3 and rattles it home.
Good ball movement, kick out, sets up Fitzsimmons, who knocks one down.
Now Laverdier dribbles through pressure. Day now in the corner. Get reversal. Parsons on the wing, inside Ennis. Laverdier, long 3. Oh yeah!
Nothing but net again for Levi Laverdier. 3 threes.
Yes, sir. He likes that spot from the top of the key. 4-point advantage for the Mustangs. Bulldogs in search of an answer. Spin dribble. Tough 2 off the glass, doesn't go. Oliveira with the rebound. He dribbles it out himself. Now he's got numbers. 3-on-2 the other way. Laverdier, another pull-up 3. Yes!
There it is. Levi Laverdier has got this place up for grabs right now.
7-point advantage and offensive foul on the other end. Laverdier.
He is fired up, and all the Monmouth faithful are. Hits the 3, hustles back from the right side of the floor to the left side of the floor and picks up an offensive foul.
How about this last 3 ball from Laverdier? Gets his feet in order. High release. Splash.
He'll let you know when they go in. He's got some legendary celebrations already.
They mentioned that in the preview article in the paper. They got their 3-point celebrations, and that's a travel on Gavin Parsons.
Outstanding athlete, the sophomore Gavin Parsons. You'll hear plenty from him next year.
Mickey Fitzsimmons brings the ball up, works against Day. Machias down by 7. Deep 3 by Fitzsimmons. He's feeling it.
The battle of the 3-pointers. Back and forth we go.
And now Oliveira tears that ball out, and they've got numbers. Parsons left alone. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3.
You have a 3. We have a 3. It's going back and forth.
Everybody's got a 3. 19-12. And we got a moving screen called on Barrett.
Well, that time the big man trying to set the pick.
Fouls number 50, Landon Barrett.
He said he moved into the screen, so
team foul number 3.
Big foul there, 3rd foul already here. You'll see the screen coming from 50. That's the left foot hadn't quite established yet.
Down is a turnover. Offensive foul, team control. Laverdier, high ball screen from Ennis. Leaves it to Ennis, takes it strong to the hoop. No good. Gavin Parsons. Offensive board, put back, no. Machias controls.
Nice take by Ennis. Doesn't get a ton of time, but that was an athletic take.
Fitzsimmons leaves it for Bragg. 3-pointer, no. Oliveira gets up with one hand for that rebound. Laverdier now gets all the way to the paint with a teardrop, and it's good.
You've seen his work behind the 3-point line. How about a little blow-by to get all the way to the cup?
Machias needs an answer. Fitzsimmons wants a ball screen. He's going to get one from Barrett, and he didn't move that time. Bragg puts it on the floor, takes it right at Gavin Parsons, and the putback is good.
Wesley Bragg.
Senior Wesley Bragg cleans up the trash and lays it in.
See that entry pass right to the middle, past that front line of the press has worked for Monmouth. Another 3-pointer, as that has worked too, but not that time. Mickey Fitzsimmons, head fake. Needs a teammate. Richardson crosses over. Leaves it for Hunter.
A lot of ball screens. Fitzsimmons gets them often.
Barrett wanted it in the low post. Monmouth bench wanted to travel. Neither got what they wanted. Fitzsimmons stop and pop. Tough 2, no. Rebound, though, fought for. And
bodies everywhere right now.
That's the bodies on the floor. And we got
Parsons with a push from behind. Let's see.
Yeah, fouls on Parsons.
Plays through the back there.
But three bodies hit the floor.
Hold on.
After that, loose ball. And they got
Monmouth was trying to take it out of bounds.
It was a good try by Ennis.
Ennis was like
senior savvy.
Our ball.
Now Machias gets it in up top to Barrett. And the big guy is surrounded and fouled. Is that another one on Parsons?
I believe so.
Fouls on number 10, Gavin Parsons. Personal foul number 2. Team foul number 2.
Another chance at a baseline inbounds goes into Barrett. And it's knocked out by Oliveira. That's a turnover.
Yeah, he tipped it, then it went off the hands of Wesley Bragg. It's going to go back to Monmouth.
See, Monmouth has played a few minutes here without Harmon or Foyt in the game, or Iwu Onyanwu. They've gone to a bit of a smaller lineup with Ennis on the inside, and they've been able to hold on or even extend this lead.
And Caden Carter has played probably about 2 minutes of game action. That might have been a little shuffle there.
Stop and pop elbow J is no good from Laverdier. Fitzsimmons rebounds and starts the break. Now out and around, Hunter. Mickey gets it back. Now finds a teammate inside. That's on the floor and recollected but missed. That was Richardson.
Good job, good entry pass, but then never really collected it very smoothly.
They're going to leave Laverdier, and he says that's a mistake.
Defense was on him, and then he left for some reason, and Laverdier on the Hammond Lumber logo says,
Wyatt Hunter said, this isn't my guy, who am I guarding? And that's all Laverdier needed, just one step in the other direction. Lets it fly and gets it. Machias now finds themselves down 10. Barrett wants it up top, and they can't get it into him and because he's fouled by Oliveira.
Oliveira on the backside saw the entry pass coming over the top, went in with the left hand and hit Barrett across the wrist.
Aiden Oliveira, personal foul number 1, team foul number 3.
Only his first.
Good minutes by Liam Ennis.
Absolutely.
Jake Harmon now back into the game. Oliveira moving his arm around like he got it hit to the shoulder. Fitzsimmons wants it, gets it, can't make it. Now Oliveira's knocked to the floor. He's going to need some ice bags after this one, BL.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Morrill, he was really banged up the start of the season with some stress fractures in his back. This probably doesn't feel too good on the old back. He jumps up, gets the rebound.
You know, Machias, none of these kids have ever played on this Augusta Civic Center floor in a high school game before. You know, they haven't really shot the ball very well in this first half. They're stuck on 14 points. I wonder if that's a factor.
That's always a factor. I mean, anytime a team is playing in a new venue, Portland, Bangor, here in the Augusta Civic Center, the different shooting lines, the sight lines for you while you shoot can affect you. And is the rule that you can't go practice, or you only practice if you didn't play there ever before, right? So I'm not sure they probably came down yesterday, right?
Yeah, 160 miles each way. They probably did earlier in the week. But all the space behind the baskets here at the Civic Center can be a little disconcerting for shooters. We'll see if they can settle in. Harmon, jab step to Parsons. Parsons thought about a 3. Now he leaves it. Pretty bounce pass down to Harmon for 2.
Yeah, nice job there. Jacob Harmon, 4 points. He does so many things for this team. Every once in a while, it's just putting in the bunny after a nice setup from Parsons.
Nice unselfish play there by the Mustangs, moving the ball, making the right pass, and then finishing. Wesley Bragg loses the ball, gets on the floor.
I'm out, maybe, no.
And a jump ball is called. That's going to be Monmouth basketball.
Oliveira, good job with the left hand to reach from behind and tip it out of there. Great hustle from Bragg to get on the floor, but he got tied up before a timeout was called. See if they hold for 1 here. 12-point lead and the ball.
Oliveira in no hurry as he gets over the time stripe. Now, nice pass into Parsons. He loses the handle, and they'll pull it back out and run more clock. 20 seconds remaining here, first half. Coach Morrill calling out his directions. Tyler Day, down to 5 seconds. He's got to go. Now he does. Puts his head down, and he's hand checked.
That's shooting.
That's going to give him 2 foul shots.
Fouls on number 15, Brady Ferguson. Personal foul number 1, team foul number 5.
How about that trust in a 9th grader, the freshman, to have him be the one who runs the clock down and then attacks the defense himself?
Yeah, they drove with about 20 seconds to go, kicked it out to him. He took it upon himself to come back to the top, looked at coach and said, let's run point. I heard him yell out point. Whatever that was a clear out on the right side, and the freshman got bumped from behind. I think they're taking out Bragg maybe for, is it an injury or blood? Maybe a suspected. I don't know what's going on.
So, yeah, Wesley Bragg needs to come out of the game. Looks like he might be bleeding or have blood on him.
Okay.
And Barrett back into the game. Tyler Day will shoot 2. Dips and fires, nothing but net. Cool as a cucumber on that one. He's looking for teammates to give 5 to after that. There's nobody around the lane.
Yeah,
He's like, oh yeah.
They cleared out Tyler. We'll get you at halftime.
Second one, nothing but net. Machias 3 seconds. Fitzsimmons tries to find a shot, leaves it, and they're out of time. That's going to do it for the first half of action. Monmouth Academy executes their game plan very well. They're on top 28-14, and we're going to throw it to our sideline reporter, Ethan Snow, as he's going to grab Coach on his way out here. Let's see if we have him. Let's give them a second, Coach, as they're talking about halftime adjustments already.
Yeah, Coach Morrow's one of those guys that's so intense that the halftime interview might be a difficult one. See if we can grab him.
All right, Ethan's got him now. Let's go to him. Ethan.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, nearly a flawless first half for your team. What do you got to do to keep it rolling in the second half?
I mean, I think it's flawless to the layman person. We're certainly got some things to clean up on the glass. Gave up a few too many second chances defensively. We're fouling a little too much. But you know, hey, we're shooting the ball well. We got to establish an interior game against some of their length. Just because of the simple fact that the paint wins. So we got some things to clean up for sure. These Machias boys aren't going to go away. They're very talented, very tough, very well coached, and they're going to come at us now, right? Sometimes when you have a good first half, all you do is kick the hornet's nest. So we got to go in there. We got to focus up. We got to come back out here and put another 16 minutes of basketball together if we want to get out of here with the smiles. So that's the plan.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Coach Morrow. We're going to send it to a break. We'll have halftime after this. You're watching Maine High School Basketball State Championships on Maine Public.
Production of high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by...
At Central Maine Community College,
I'm going to be a pathologist.
There is something for everyone.
An athletic trainer, physical therapist.
Your future starts here.
A new car? A new home? Or what about that vacation you know you deserve? Why spend more when you could spend less? MaineCreditUnions.org.
Hammond Lumber Company, with 34 locations across Maine and New Hampshire, serving contractors, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers since 1953.
Expect the unexpected at the University of Maine at Presque Isle, committed to providing an affordable education with a personalized experience full of discovery and innovation.
It's a fun way to challenge myself and see what I know.
It's a unique experience to meet other kids from around the state.
It's really, really cool to see everyone's different talents and skills.
So making a game out of it is the perfect combination.
And I can learn a lot of new fun facts and just show off my knowledge.
I just really like trivia. I know a lot of stuff and I want to share all this random stuff I know with my school to help improve school spirit.
And I want to be with my friends and hopefully win. Let's go have some fun with trivia.
Welcome back to the Augusta Civic Center as we're ready to send it to the PA microphone and Mike Hopkins for the presentation of a Sportsmanship Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Maine Principals Association and FAME, the Finance Authority of Maine, it is an honor to present sportsmanship banners in both boys and girls basketball. During the season, each basketball team in Maine was asked to select an opponent they felt was most deserving of receiving a sportsmanship award. The schools we recognize with a Sportsmanship Award have displayed respect of officials, coaches, and opponents, fair play, honesty and integrity, and a true love for the game of basketball. Presenting the award today, T.J. Maines, Athletic Administrator of Coney High School, and Crystal Huseth, Athletic Administrator, Mount View High School. We are pleased to recognize in boys Class D North the Tigers of Fort Fairfield Middle High School. Here today to receive the award, coaches Cody Clausen, Matt Tompkins, Dawson Watson, and John Alla. Players Lucas Cormier, Daxon Milton, Levi Cole, Caden Alla, Vincent Heibel, Nicholas O'Neill, Seth Cody, Ethan Kennison, Corjay Babin, Ethan Gorno, and manager Ryan Schlesinger. At this time, we are pleased to recognize boys and girls Class D South Rebels of Telstar High School. Here to receive the award are coaches, boys coach Ryan Kimball, girls coach Steve Pelletier, along with players Connor Dupre, Cooper Morgan, Quinn Coolidge, Brooklyn Dupre, Carson Koskela, and Alex Dougherty. Congratulations.
All right, BL, 28-14. I got to think Machias fans wouldn't have expected their team to be stuck at 14 points here at halftime.
Yeah, they might be if they had watched Monmouth on tape, the great defense. I think they're seeing the ball pressure that's being applied. It's kind of mitigated their ability to get the ball inside of the post to Barrett. Obviously, the foul trouble that Caden Carter's been playing with has hampered them offensively. And so if you're Coach Fitzsimmons, you got to let it all hang out here in the second half and let those guys play with some foul trouble and find a way maybe to establish an interior presence. That's where we thought the advantage was going to be, and thus far it's not been the case.
G. Nichols, the one-man band, will play us into the break, and we'll be back after this. You're watching the Maine High School Basketball State Championships on Maine Public.
Of high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by
Hammond Lumber Company, with 34 locations across Maine and New Hampshire, serving contractors, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers since 1953.
Coastal Auto Parts, selling Napa auto parts since 1981. Owned and operated by a Maine family and proud to support student athletes.
And Coram Credit Union, inspired by brighter futures and proud to support students, athletes, and the community. Learn more at ancoramcu.com.
The environment is just awesome.
Great campus, small, close-knit community.
Everyone's really welcoming.
Everything feels very personal.
You feel like you belong here.
Borealis, the nature of Maine. Maine Public Television's Emmy Award-winning series is back with another season full of incredible stories from Maine's backcountry. We'll take you to scenic mountaintops, across pristine lakes and rivers, to the rugged coast and places beyond, searching for the people, places, and wildlife that define this great state of Maine. Join us on this adventure as we travel the back roads, trails, and waterways that connect Maine's people to the great outdoors. It all kicks off April 2nd on Maine Public Television.
Ethan Snow is ready with Coach Fitzsimmons. Ethan.
All right, Coach, down 14 at the halftime break. What adjustments you got to make for the second half?
Yeah, we got to get more physical. They're being very physical. They're not calling a lot. So we got to be tough. We got to be strong with the ball. We're getting some good shots underneath, and we're just missing them. So basically, we got to be tougher underneath.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Ethan. They got to be tougher underneath, BL.
It makes sense. I mean, if you've got 6'6", 6'4" underneath, take advantage of that. Carter's got to play some more minutes here in the second half, but Harmon's physicality has been really impressive underneath, both in the rebounding action, the screens, all the things he does has been a difference maker, and obviously the shooting of Levi Laverdiere is how the scoreboard is changing, but it's the defense that's held them at bay that obviously Machias has got to find a way to attack.
You mentioned Carter for Machias with a bit of foul trouble, had to sit for a lot of that first half. Monmouth Academy has some bit of foul trouble as well. Foyt had 2, Harmon had 2. Nobody in too deep for the Mustangs. And here we go, second half is underway. Maine State Championship, Class D boys. And Machias first possession against this Monmouth Academy half court, man-to-man. Barrett now stuck to the corner for Richardson. Back to Fitzsimmons. Trying a 5-out, open post. And O'Connor, he's lightning quick. And inside now Carter, size advantage. Harmon grabs his arm. That's going to be 3 on Harmon.
A good job there. Again, established Carter underneath inside. A little bit of a flop here from Aiden Oliveira. Goes uncalled, but they are going to call the foul there on Harmon
Foul
reaching
number
in.
23, Jacob Harmon, personal foul number 3, team foul number 1.
It'll be tough inside, Coach Fitzsimmons said, coming out of halftime. And Carter shows some toughness around the basket there and earns himself a trip to the stripe.
Yeah, patient possession ends up with a post entry. And Carter 1 for 3 from the line so far today.
Iwu Onyanwu back in for Harmon. Harmon takes a seat with 3 fouls. Carter's second attempt around and out. 0 for 2.
The Armouth struggled last night to shoot free throws against Gardner. They probably lament that fact today. Machias needs to see those go down.
Oliveira now finds the Verdier. O'Connor in his hip pocket. Now on the other side, Laverdiere drives on O'Connor, opens a little bit of room with a step back. Shot's no good. Knocked out of bounds by Monmouth.
Yeah, really good on-ball defense. Forced a tough shot from Laverdiere. And Barrett able to go up there and contend and gets tipped out by Monmouth.
Some full court pressure applied. And they get it quickly to Fitzsimmons. He dribbles through traffic and into the front court. Now Carter wants it inside against Oliveira. He gets it and gets 2.
Yeah, good job there. Good entry pass. Led him right to the baseline and a lay-in.
It's going to be a tough matchup for Monmouth. Oliveira trying to guard 6'6", Caden Carter. Laverdiere, 3-ball. Yes!
Number 6 for Levi Laverdiere on the backside of the press. Nobody found him.
As the Monmouth fans are holding up 1,000-point banners, Laverdiere, he must have just scored his 1,000th point. I know he was getting close as a junior.
Pretty cool for Levi Laverdiere. I think he might know it. Coach Morrill said between you and I, he might get his 1,000th, and he just did.
You're going to need a big game, and he's had one here so far. 1,000 points scored by Levi Laverdiere in his 11th grade season. Pretty impressive stuff. The Monmouth Academy junior. (31-16). There's Laverdiere again. Opens up a lane to the basket. And Carter closed it off, but he fouled him.
I think it's going to be on Dallas Richardson reaching it. It is, yeah. On the wing, here he is.
Fouls on number 10.
Right there.
Personal foul number 2.
A good chunk of the ball, might have got some arm as well. And it's going to send Laverdiere to the line, working on his 1,001st points.
Levi Laverdiere shooting 2.
This is going to go back a ways, but I remember Amy Vachon scored her 1,000th point at the Bangor Auditorium her junior year during the tournament. So that's
Is it a state game or just during the
I
tournament?
don't know that answer. I do not believe. I think it was a regional final, maybe. I remember that being a big deal, obviously. I'm sure plenty of kids have done it, but tonight it's Levi Laverdier.
Second one is rattled home for Laverdier. Monmouth is doubling up Machias, 32-16.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a backcourt violation.
Yeah, caught the ball in the front court with 2 feet and kind of came back to make the catch. They said both feet were established and the ball. So that's backcourt.
Another empty trip for Machias. They've scored 2 points here in the second half, well below their average scoring output. They've got to find a spark here in the third quarter. Iwu Anyanwu tried to get it back to Parsons. It was late, and it was knocked away. Mickey Fitzsimmons hesitates, finds Richardson. Barrett's open, foul line J, misses. And we got a push, looks like on Foyt.
I think there was only 2 Monmouth players in the area. We'll see the call here. Shot goes up only off the glass. Foyt might have discarded there early before we caught it. That's his third.
So 3 on Harmon, 3 on Foyt. Liam Ennis is back to the scorer's table to check in, but he didn't get there in time. And so Foyt will have to be careful not to pick up his 4th. O'Connor works a tough angle, can't get it to go. Oliveira now finds Parsons on the wing. Laverdier has some space, goes to the basket, and he's fouled by Carter. That's 3 on Carter.
And Carter is apoplectic. Does not like the call. We'll see here as he comes through the lane with the right hand right on the wrist.
Yep. Personal foul number 3, team foul number 2.
I don't know if he was upset with his teammate there. O'Connor's in a tough spot. You got to close out on Laverdier. He's made 100 3-pointers in this game, and then he's going to drive past you. You need your teammates to step in and help out, and Carter fouled him. Laverdier made the first one.
Carter going to the bench. It's just 33-16, Brandon. At some point, he's got to learn to play with the fouls, or it's going to be out of reach.
Carter's back on the bench for the Bulldogs.
Can hear Wade Morrill barking out the new assignments as 3 new Monmouth Mustangs check in.
Freshman Tyler Day back in, along with Liam Ennis. Jake Harmon back into the ball game. Second one's good. Fitzsimmons wants a ball screen. Goes to the wing. Barrett has position. Gets himself under the basket. Tough spot. Can't finish. Tyler Day now. Leaves to Laverdier. Harmon wants a new set. Tigers finds Laverdier inside, and he gets 2 chances at it. They're both blocked.
That set him up beautifully with that play call.
O'Connor all the way, and he can't finish. And now Fitzsimmons gets a look at it, and that's around and in.
Fitzsimmons up to 9 points, leading the way.
Now Machias, 2-2-1, full court pressure. Day dribbles through it. Back into half court man. Day puts his head down, attacks the basket, right hand, left side, no. Harmon gets a put back, and it'll be a travel.
Barrett did a good job bodying up there, keeping his hands straight up. There you see big number 50. Reach in there. Ooh. A lot of the arm did Wesley Bragg, but they're going to call travel as Harmon went up and down.
So it's a turnover. Machias got the stop they needed. O'Connor goes behind the back. Inside, and Tyler Day is outsized, and he was holding him from behind.
Fouls number 13, Tyler Day. Personal foul number 1, team foul number 3.
And Day realized he was in the post there trying to body up on the inside, held a little bit. They didn't miss it.
Baseline inbounds for Machias. O'Connor, he gets into the paint. He's surrounded by Mustangs. They build the wall really well on those dribble drives. Now a dribble handoff to Fitzsimmons, and too much contact up top, and they'll go on Day.
There's our first stomp of the day from Wade Morrill. It's his trademark. He was not happy. 3 right-footed stomps there as he looks at Tyler Day. Stop fouling. We're up 16. We don't want to let him back in. Now they're shooting the rest of the way after this foul.
Now inbounds inside to Barrett. Barrett travels. Another turnover.
He doesn't believe it either. We'll see here on the catch. See if he gives a little hop step before he starts the move.
Yeah, he established his left foot as his pivot foot, and then he moved it.
Picks it up.
Over the top of the front line of the press. They've liked that inbounds pass. It's worked well for them.
Monmouth's a tough team to press with their guard play.
Oliveira, one-hand bounce pass, entry to Harmon. Kick to Day, he's open for three, and back rim, no. A rebound by Richardson, and that's going to be 4 on Harmon.
And a shooting situation. So this is one way to get back in the game, Brandon, is you get free throws on every foul. 4th on Harmon. He's really struggled here to get much going in the second half because the foul trouble. He might sit for a while now.
There's a lot of the third period left here, third quarter left. As Coach Morrow said in his interview at halftime, he mentioned the foul trouble, and it is cropping up again here as Machias goes to the line for 2.
Ethan Snow thought he'd be happy with the 28-14 lead. He was like, well, no, I'm not that happy. Trust me. I know to the lay person it looks like I should be happy. I'm not happy. He'll only be happy if he's got a goal ball in his hands in about 30 minutes.
First one, no good. Machias has not shot very high percentage at the line here tonight. Harmon takes a seat with 4. Gavin Parsons back into the game. They go with a small lineup. We call it 4 guards and Ennis. Second one is good from Richardson.
His first point of the night, the junior.
And here comes the press. Inbound to Laverdier, again over that front line. Back to Oliveira. He puts the ball on his hip. Forces the Bulldogs to come out and guard him.
Yeah, that's a universal sign for I'm not going anywhere unless you come to defend me.
Reversal around. Laverdier, top of the key. Oh, he missed the shot anyway, but it's going to be moving screen.
A little elevator screen it looked like there.
Foul number 10, Gavin Parsons.
Didn't see it. It's on Parsons. That's his 3rd.
Foul trouble is piling up.
Monmouth does have some depth, but I don't think they go 10 deep. They got to be careful here.
Hoyt's in some foul trouble. So is Harmon. And now Parsons has 3. Moving screen offensive foul, so Machias doesn't shoot. And that's up top and around. Now to Wesley Bragg. That's almost knocked away. Richardson in the corner. Hunter goes inside and Barrett is held. He will shoot for that one.
Barrett, you'll see here carving out some space against Ennis.
Foul number 50.
He's trying to work his way around.
Foul number 1.
And they're going to get Liam Ennis.
Landon Barrett, 32.
Barrett, nothing but net. Machias finally reaches the 20-point mark 5 minutes into the third quarter. Second one, also good. That's what they needed. Back within 13.
That's what Coach Morrill does not want. Them scoring with the clock stopped. Easy free throws.
Day gets the ball up to Parsons. Break the press. Back to Oliveira. Day attacks the basket, stops, pops one-handed. No good. Almost another foul there in the rebounding action.
Lucky he didn't get a push from behind.
Fitzsimmons calls directions. Now works to the right, has Barrett. Ennis doing a nice job working on him. Fitzsimmons fires for 3, no good. And put back, Wesley Bragg is fouled. He'll shoot 2.
A good offensive rebound by Wesley Bragg. He brought it from the left side of the rim to the right, and Laverdier hammered him on the right hand.
Foul number 2.
Look at him, Sky, get the one-hand rebound. Oliveira wanted to push in the back, but they didn't get it.
Bragg makes the first. Again, Machias scoring with the clock stopped.
I like this Jumpman shirt that Coach Fitzsimmons has, the old Jordan brand. Doesn't say Machias on it anywhere, but I do like that.
Second one, front rim, no. Good box out by Parsons. It's a 12-point advantage now for Monmouth. They could use a bucket.
I thought he might call a timeout here just to sort of end the quarter well, but he trusts leaders with the ball in their hands, including this guy, Levi Laverdier. Why wouldn't you?
Drive and kick, Tyler Johnson, 3-ball corner pocket, no. Barrett, strong rebound, almost knocked away by Johnson, and now he goes headlong over the bench. How about that hustle?
Woo. The senior goes flying over the bench.
That's making the most of your minutes right there.
Tries to steal the outlet pass.
Full extension.
The trainer right there. What an athletic move here.
The trainer goes, what was that?
Yeah, that was a flash.
All right, Machias, a chance to close this lead down even more. They put a run together here.
Fitzsimmons off the ball here. They're using him in the post.
Turnaround, splash.
Little change there from coach. They had Wyatt Hunter bring the ball up. Fitzsimmons posts up against a smaller guard. Shoots the fadeaway.
Good coaching change now. Monmouth breaks the press again. Laverdier finds Ennis. Ennis loses it. Knocked away by Barrett. Machias now down just 10. Fitzsimmons wants another one. No good. Barrett, offensive rebound. Put back, no. Another one. He's fouled and he'll shoot 2.
The big man on the weak side glass, causing problems, particularly with Harmon out. There you see the first attempt, he just leaves short. He goes up and gets it again. And then right there, clear as day, right across the arm. Landon Barrett.
So it's 2 on Ennis. Barrett just made 2, misses that one. Machias starting to feel like they believe in it here a little bit.
No question. Yeah, I think this third quarter started off poorly, but the last 2-minute stretch, particularly with Harmon went to the bench, Foyt on the bench, they've had a physical presence on the inside. The coach really was demanding coming out of the half. They've done that.
Now it's Josh Iwu Onyanwu's turn to battle inside.
0 for 2.
Empty trip for the Bulldogs. Now Monmouth, minute 15 remaining here, third quarter. They can afford to be patient, and they will. Laverdier comes off the screen, shoots from the foul line, no. Ennis had it, pulled out of there by Machias.
Yeah, from behind, Barrett tipped that ball away from Ennis.
Mickey puts it on the floor, attacks the tin, and gets 2.
Yeah, beautiful drive there. We're going to get a timeout. 30 seconds from Coach Fitzsimmons.
All of a sudden, the lead is down to 8. Machias start to believe in it. Caden Carter has been on the bench for a while in foul trouble. He's close to returning, I would think, in this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take a moment to recognize.
And that would be the time. Probably get him back in there. Maybe wait till the fourth quarter, I suppose.
Reached his 1,000th career point.
And Mike Hopkins announcing the Laverdier 1,000 points.
Another standing ovation from the Monmouth Academy faithful. Big crowd here from Monmouth tonight.
Why not? 17 miles down the road.
Yeah, the town of Monmouth is shut down, I think, this afternoon. And Super Sunday is coming up tomorrow. If you missed a game or want to watch one again, Maine Public is rebroadcasting all the state final games this weekend. Last night's Class B games were seen this morning, but today's games begin tonight at 10 p.m. with a replay of the Class C girls. Then, championship weekend picks up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning for a full day of state final excitement, starting with the Class C boys at 6 a.m. Laverdier, hesitation dribble, gets to the rack, and he gets fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Now he is going to be a little sore. Looked like he might have landed right on the tailbone here. Fitzsimmons tries to challenge him at the rim. A little blow by on the outside. Fitzsimmons goes up, and he lands right on the tailbone.
Team foul number 3.
He'll need a nice bath tonight, but he's trying to shake it off.
He's an all-MVC golfer, I heard. Not a lot of that on the golf course. You know, you don't get knocked down very often.
Not a lot of contact.
Ugh, that looks like it hurt. I'd still be down if that was me.
It'd scrape me off the floor. Trainer.
Class C game.
He makes the first one, scrapes himself off the floor, makes the front end.
24 points, including 6 threes.
Dallas Richardson takes a seat. Liam O'Connor back into the game. See if he can be a scoring factor in the remaining 8 minutes and change of this one. Laverdier misses the second. Rebound down to Machias. O'Connor into the front court, gets into the paint, around to the left hand, up and in.
Well, you called for it. Averages 14 a game. Hadn't scored yet, and he just did.
Inbound. Tough spot. Parsons gets through the press. Up to Oliveira. 25 seconds left. Up top, Iwu Anyanwu.
Gonna hold for one here. 7-point lead at minimum going to the fourth.
Oliveira wants down. It still runs clock. Now it's at 5, and he'll start. Crosses over. It's Fitzsimmons. Now he goes left. Jump stop, leaves it to Ennis, but they ran out of time. It's no good. That's going to do it. The end of the third quarter. Monmouth Academy 35, Machias 28. We'll have fourth quarter action for you after this. You're watching Maine High School Basketball State Championships on Maine Public.
Production of high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by...
At Central Maine Community College,
I'm going to be a pathologist.
There is something for everyone.
An athletic trainer, physical therapist.
Your future starts here.
Sheridan Construction, a Maine company committed to building on their promise for over 75 years.
At Thomas College, we do college differently. We do academics differently. We do community differently. We do careers differently. It's time to do college differently.
Welcome back to the Augusta Civic Center. A good crowd on hand for this one as we're headed to the fourth quarter. Monmouth on top, 35-28. Their lead, I think, got to 16 at one point, maybe 18 even.
Yeah, I think it might have been 18, 34, 34-16 maybe.
And Machias able to close that down to just 7 by the end of the third quarter. They are within shouting distance as we begin this pivotal fourth quarter.
So Caden Carter's going to start the fourth with 3 fouls. Jacob Harmon still on the bench while Monmouth maintains this lead. He has 4. That's the difference.
Foyt is going to take on Carter. Iwu Anyanwu gets Barrett. And Tyler Day is on Fitzsimmons. It goes inside to Barrett. Almost loses it. Now gets to the right hand, and he's fouled. Machias got into the bonus with 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. They're on their way again here. And that foul right there.
On the right wrist, he spun, kind of led with the left elbow. No contact, but then Iwu Anyanwu, close-ish.
Getting there. Barrett makes the front end.
5 for the senior. Herman transfer, I believe.
Barrett's second is good.
And here comes Harmon. 7:48 to go. Coach Morrell's seen enough, so we got to go to the big guy and trust that he's not going to foul. Full court press coming.
Monmouth needs a press breaker. Harmon gets it into Laverdier. He surveys the defense. Back to reversal through Harmon. Now they get it over the time stripe. Laverdier, a couple head fakes. Back to Day. 9th grader up top with Mickey Fitzsimmons on him. Oliveira now on the wing. Jab step into the paint. Kicks to Day. Laverdier now. Cycles through. Oh, how about that? Step back. 3-ball. No.
That one looked good from our vantage point, Brandon. They were in the Levi Laverdier play. Wide open. Couldn't get it to go down.
Fitzsimmons. For O'Connor. O'Connor says, clear out. Let me go to work.
He's trying to clear out some space for Caden Carter. They're going to get a hand check from behind on Foyt.
Foyt says, I'm giving up 3 or 4 inches here. What do you want me to do?
He might have had 2 hands in the lower back there, maybe on the entry path. Not a ton of contact, but just enough.
Another one on Monmouth.
That's Foyt's 4th. I think he's coming out. Parsons able to get there just in time.
So they go back to their smaller lineup, 4 guards and Jake Harmon on the inside. Foyt with 4. Harmon's playing with 4. And that inbounds pass knocked away and around and pulled out of there by Tyler Day. Now he's trapped in the corner.
Timeout.
Yep, timeout, Coach Morrill.
Monmouth timeout.
Good timeout there. Saw Day trapped and wanted to probably talk to him anyway about what's going on. 2 fouls already early in this fourth quarter.
And we said the lead, I believe, was 18 in that third quarter. It's all the way down to 5. And folks, we have a special programming note. Tonight at 6:30 p.m., following the Class D boys game, Maine Public will air a PBS NewsHour special report, War with Iran. This will not interrupt our basketball coverage, which will resume at 7 p.m. with the Class C girls from Augusta. The Class A games will be broadcast on the Maine Public World Channel. For more information, go to mainepublic.org.
That's a heavy topic.
Yeah, just sneak that in with a 30-second timeout.
So here we are, 35-30. Harmon back on the floor. Foyt did go off with his fourth. And we'll see what Monmouth tries to do. They've been a little bit disjointed offensively.
Machias likes to dial up defenses and see what they come with here out of this timeout. See if they give Monmouth a different look, and they're trying to communicate. Looks like full court man-to-man. Tyler Day with Bragg on him.
Harmon uncovered over there.
Day works his way through the backcourt with Bragg pressuring him and tries to get all the way to the basket. Carter erases that effort. And Monmouth retains possession.
He is a legit 6'6".
And he can get up from there.
He really can.
Gavin Parsons leaves it for Day. Day attacks the paint, spins around, now needs help. Tries to get it to Parsons, stolen away by Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons attacks the basket, lays it up and in for 2.
15 points, Fitzsimmons there, got Day trapped on the inside. The kick out was stolen.
Monmouth needs points. Laverdier shoots the 3 ball, rattles in and out. The rebound fought for. O'Connor wants a timeout. And he gets it.
I think if he had to do over again, he could have passed it to a teammate that was there. Really no ball pressure, but a good heady play, trying to secure the possession, and he does just that.
Either way, Machias gets another miss by Monmouth, and now the pressure is firmly on the Monmouth Academy side. It was on the Machias side early in this game. They were struggling. It took them forever just to get to 20 points, but now they look up at the scoreboard. They're down just 3.
Yeah, when they came out at halftime, came out of the half, they were walking out. I kind of did not like their body language. I kind of looked at you like, oh, they don't look like they believe. And right now they are running around because they believe very much so they can complete this comeback. And a great credit to Coach for keeping the kids locked in. They have been tougher on the inside. You know, Laverdier's cooled down a little bit. That one was halfway down and rattled out, and they're taking advantage of every possession. And it made this an interesting game here with 6 minutes to go.
And Monmouth has played such good defense throughout the whole season, throughout this game, holding Machias well below their season average here in a state final. But they need to do so for 6 more minutes as they are now clinging to a 3-point lead. Machias basketball out of this timeout. They're going to have a chance to tie this one up. And that young guy, they need to wake him up to see the end of it.
He's ready for Olive Garden after the game, I think. He's tired.
Says, give me the limitless breadsticks.
There's the old Machias letter jackets in the top row. They believe.
They drove 160 miles to be here for this one. They believe they're bringing a gold ball with them back across Route 9 all the way to Washington County. Fitzsimmons with Day on him. Wants the ball screen. Works the sideline. Wants it back and gets it. Mick Fitzsimmons into Barrett. O'Connor wants to reset.
You got Carter against Oliveira on the inside. They're going to go to it.
And, entry pass was too high, but Oliveira push in the back. And that's going to be 3 team fouls on Monmouth.
You'll see the entry pass here. They recognize the mismatch on the inside. Yeah, the left hand was a little bit strong. Pass was high. In the NFL, they might say uncatchable.
2 fouls on Oliveira. O'Connor goes in over the top. This is Richardson. Fitzsimmons now wants the ball screen from Carter. Moves left. Inside Barrett. Has Harmon on him with 4 fouls. Barrett, baby hook, no. Parsons, good rebound.
Yeah, surprised he didn't go through the chest there. Try to draw maybe a 5th foul against Harmon. Kind of faded and took the hook, as you said. Came up empty.
Monmouth Academy gets the stop they needed. Now they get the ball back, nursing this 3-point advantage. Haven't got many good open looks here in this second half.
They have not. Much better defense on ball by this Machias group. There it is.
Laverdier open, top of the key, splash.
That's the play. Coach dials it up. Levi Laverdier, when they needed it most, has an answer.
That's his spot. dead eye from the top of the key, and he knocks through another one. Inside to Carter, who can't finish. Barrett, put back, yes.
Yeah, nice job there on the inside. I thought Carter might have been hit on the initial shot, no call. Barrett calmly puts the other one back in.
Parsons breaks the press, gets it back to Laverdier. Now Jake Harmon, approaching 4 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Harmon clears some space for that shot, and it's no good.
Again, matching the physicality inside in the first half. That was an advantage for Monmouth. Right now, it's a toss-up.
The tough inside, Coach Fitzsimmons said, coming out of halftime. And they have been tougher inside here in the second half, indeed. Get him back into this one. O'Connor gets fouled on that dribble drive, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Is this 23 or 10? 2, okay. So they went Laverdier. On the spin here. Laverdier with the left hand, yeah, right across the arm. Easy call there for Justin Underwood.
Now Machias is going to be in the bonus on every defensive foul the rest of the fourth quarter. Machias has not committed a team foul. If at some point they want to put Monmouth on the line, they're going to have to foul 5 times.
Well, I know on the first foul that gets called against Machias, those people in maroon are going to explode in a sort of wry cheer, like, hey, it's about time you called one of the guys in black and orange.
Roy Foyt now back into the game. Tyler Day will have a seat.
Back to a 3-point game.
O'Connor takes his time, dips and fires, and that's pure.
Yeah, those look pretty easy for Liam O'Connor.
Down to a 2-point game.
Press, forcing the timeout.
Yeah, Jake Harmon wants a timeout. So throughout this whole game, they were doing a full court zone press, and Monmouth was able to just easily inbound it over that front line. All of a sudden, this fourth quarter, they're going man-to-man full court press, and that inbounds pass isn't available.
Which all the more reason to watch the keys of the game. Brandon Terrell had it for you. Dial up different defenses. They're doing just that.
Hey, folks, Season 9 of High School Quiz Show Maine returns on Thursday, March 19th. Tune in to watch schools from around the state match wits and compete for the $1,000 prize. This season, schools from Orono to Bethel to Portland will battle it out for the championship with host Todd Gutner. It all starts Thursday, March 19th at 8 p.m. on Maine Public Television.
Coney won that like 3 years ago, I believe. Big W for the Rams.
Big W, Maine High School Quiz Show. Starting up March 19th. This one's starting back up. Mustangs got to get it in now, do. Looks like Machias switched it up again.
They did.
They're in the zone. And Monmouth pretty comfortable breaking that. And a tough twirling put up and in by Laverdier.
What a shot from Levi Laverdier. Going across the lane to his left. Contorts his body. Extends the lead back to 4.
Great body control by the junior. And Machias back down 4, looking for an answer. O'Connor wants the ball screen from Carter. Tosses it up, and that's knocked away by Parsons.
A great hand there from Parsons to knock it away from Carter. And Rory Fort back in the game with his 4 fouls. Obviously got to play your top 5 right now if you're Coach Morrill.
Harmon and Foyt, both nursing foul trouble. 3 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Monmouth with the ball. 4-point advantage.
Timeout.
Coach Morrow wants a full timeout to talk about it and catch their breath. Woo, I need to catch mine too here, Bial.
Interesting you mentioned they came out in a zone press, and again, Monmouth has beaten that really successfully. It led to a nice little hoop on the other end from Levi Laverdier. The man-to-man defense has been really a problem for Monmouth offensively. They've really not gotten much easy in the second half.
So Coach Fitzsimmons working the grease board over in his timeout. Wonder if they're going to go back to man-to-man pressure. Coach Morrill working his whiteboard as well.
And it's going to be about that time, Brandon, where you might want to think about committing a few fouls here. You might wait, another minute and then sub in a couple guys to be the foulers. But you got a long way to go to get the 5 fouls, and you might need them in order to, send Monmouth to the line in the key situation.
You can certainly afford to be really physical to deny inbounds passes, hold a little bit here and there, and if you get called for the foul, that's okay. You might need to build up to 5 here eventually.
Look at the Monmouth faithful, a little bit more nervous than they were at halftime. Halftime it was jovial for the people in maroon, but right now they're holding on tight to this 4-point lead.
Mustangs basketball. Sideline inbound. Box formation. And they can't get it in. And Oliveira wanted a kick. It was an incidental kick. Now O'Connor takes it the other way. He's fouled. He'll shoot two.
Now Oliveira's indignant that was a kick. Not sure we're going to catch that. We're going to see the foul instead here against Laverdier. He goes out right across both arms.
It's only a kick violation if you move your foot in order to strike the ball. If the ball is thrown at your foot and it hits your foot, that's not a kick.
That was right in front of us. I couldn't really make out the difference between what you just said. I don't know if he did it on purpose or it was thrown off his foot, but it definitely hit his foot. Or maybe even a shin.
There goes down as a turnover out of a timeout, and Liam O'Connor has a chance to close this lead back down. And he misses the first one. Here we go.
There's the inbounds here we were talking about. Yeah, it looks like a kick there to me.
Yeah, he's moving his foot towards the ball to try to deny that pass, and that's a big one.
That is. Only cost him 1 point instead of 2, but it could be a crucial point.
Now Monmouth with the ball back. 3-point advantage. That's tipped out of bounds.
Coach Fitzsimmons saying somehow that was off Monmouth. He'll do anything to get the ball back right now if you're coaching or playing. Aiden Oliveira's got to refocus here. He's a little bit too worried about the
foul
disparity.
And over the top, Parsons leaves it for Foyt, and he hits the back of the backboard, but he's fouled. He'll shoot two.
Wow, late call.
Barrett needs to be careful now.
Late call there. I thought it was a foul initially. The whistle a little late. We'll see here. Nice little play back to the inbounder and across. Didn't go up with it initially. Yeah, down. Right arm came down.
Yep.
Across the arm. Good call. Just the whistle was a hair late. Rory Foyt certainly expected it. And that's that inbounds. Everybody's running off the sideline. The inbounder, and then he runs through a little diagonal cut.
Either takes it himself or he's got the dish off like he did there to Foyt. Foyt makes the first one, nothing but net, and he gets the second one as well.
His first 2 points of the game, Aiden Oliveira, if I'm correct, 0 points so far.
Two incredible
stars.
The two seniors affecting the game without scoring a whole lot. Now O'Connor down by 5 with the basketball. Goes inside. Fitzsimmons, front rim, no. Push.
That's going to be on Carter, I think.
No, it's going to go on Monmouth because somebody's shooting two. It's going to be Harmon. That's his 5th.
Okay, big call there. I didn't catch it.
23, Jacob Harmon, personal foul number 5.
That's 5 on Harmon, and the Machias faithful.
Huge development in this game, as Harmon has done such a great job. He's outsized by inches, but not by strength, and he's really battled really well on the glass on both ends.
I will say he didn't argue the call tremendously. I think he probably thought he did something. Or he just has a lot of class, one of the two.
Now Barrett.
Big free throws for the big man.
This is the front end. Machias has not been great at the foul line tonight.
They have not. That's a storyline that's been affected Yarmouth last night in their 4-point loss.
Gets the second one. It's like Wesley Bragg checks back in for Barrett. Give up a little size to try to add some quickness to this defense.
And they're going to go zone press, it looks like. This one, as you noted, has not been as effective.
So they got a guy on the inbounder. The zone behind it. And quickly broken by the Mustangs. Oliveira, ball on hip. 4-point lead, 2:20 remaining fourth quarter.
Again, be aggressive here because you got 3 fouls to give. Might as well go for the steals, play the passing lanes, overplay a little bit. Obviously don't want to foul a shooter.
Laverdier gets it knocked away from behind, but regains possession. Oliveira in and out. Laverdier open in the corner. You see how quickly 2 Bulldogs closed out on Laverdier. And he's fouled.
Hunter's showing frustration there, the freshman, but it's actually a good foul. Close out on him. He's trying to get around. Let's just commit a foul here. Went for the steal, and only the second foul, so you got to do it a few more times.
Parsons. Ooh. Gets it to Laverdier. Oliveira. And that's a reach-in foul on Hunter. As you said, though, they need a couple team fouls here if they want to put Monmouth on the line.
I think Coach Fitzsimmons has to get him out, and he is. He's just really overly emotional right now about those fouls. You see him taking off his jersey as he goes off the floor. Checking into the game will be Dallas Richardson, who starts.
Sideline inbound. Into Day. Day back dribbles and resets. They'll run some more clock. Day out near the half-court line. A jab steps and blows by. Almost loses the handle. That was risky. Now moves left. Finds Laverdier.
Don't have to foul imminently, but it's getting to be about that time where want to extend this game.
Yep, Monmouth isn't going to shoot this unless they get an open layup or an extremely good look.
At least run a double team at him, maybe try to force a turnover. O'Connor thinking about it.
Yep, Tyler Day putting on a dribbling clinic, and finally Fitzsimmons says, I got to foul him.
And the next one will be shooting.
Personal foul number 2, team foul number 4.
Only the second one on Fitzsimmons, so he's in no real danger. We're going to get a timeout from Coach Fitzsimmons.
Machias timeout.
We got a 4-point advantage by the Monmouth Academy Mustangs. They're clearly willing to take the air out of this one and run off clock, force Machias to foul them and put them on the line.
Absolutely, and if you're Coach Morrill, you get your best foul shooters on the floor right now. A little offense, defense potentially, and extend this lead when ultimately they probably commit a foul.
All these ball handlers that Monmouth has makes them really good at this, this
Absolutely.
aspect of the game. When you need to run your time waster offense, run time off the clock and get fouled. They're really strong with the ball, and they're good quality ball handlers.
Yeah, Gardner brilliant with it last night, able to not only run clock off, but end up getting fouled when Trace Moody, a 90% free throw shooter, had the ball in his hand. So well done there by the Tigers. As painful as that is for me to give them credit, they did a really good job, honestly, last night. And Trace Moody, maybe the world's nicest kid based on the interviews. He did a great job icing that game. So Monmouth, similar setup here. Really good guards, good free throw shooters. Let's see if they have a similar result.
Gene Nichols, the one-man band from Machias, plays us in with a cowbell. No such thing as too much cowbell.
That guy's unbelievable. MPA should hire him just to come to all these games.
Oliveira inbounds to Day. He's guarded by O'Connor. Day, jab steps.
Yeah. He was closing out as Day was accelerating forward. Looked probably worse than it was.
Foul number 3, Liam O'Connor. Personal foul number 3.
Levi Laverdier over to this.
5.
Say no problem.
Tyler Day shooting 2.
So Monmouth in this pressure-packed situation, under 2 minutes to play, state championship game, packed Augusta Civic Center, able to run time without turning it over. And now the freshman, Tyler Day, steps up, knocks down the first one.
I'm not sure that's the guy you wanted to foul.
Lead is now 5. Day dips and fires and makes the second.
He's got 4 free throw makes, none of them have hit the rim.
Now a little full court pressure applied, trying to make Machias spend some more precious time getting the ball up the court. Now O'Connor works against Laverdier. He blows by to the rack for 2.
Nice take there, going to go full court press. Monmouth has no interest in picking up the ball.
They're in no hurry. And now they get it in and back to Laverdier.
Yeah, that's maybe the guy to foul just to give a change up. Tyler Day just made that look too easy. Levi Laverdier sprints to the other end.
Beat the camera pan down to the other end. Laverdier's ready to go.
Levi Laverdier shooting 2.
Levi Laverdier barking out some instructions to his teammates, making sure they know who they have matchup-wise coming out of these free throws.
Nothing but the bottom of the net on the first one. Laverdier
for 30 right now, Brandon. That could be off by 1 or 2 maybe, but I've got him for 30 unofficially.
Going off for 30 in a state game. That's bragging rights for the rest of your life right there.
Made those look pretty easy. I'm not sure there's anybody you want to foul for Monmouth.
O'Connor now, blazing speed, gets into the front court, left hand, misses it. And a big rebound by Monmouth. Laverdier is going to get fouled again. That just might do it.
Yeah, interesting that he went with the left hand coming down the right-hand side. Had great speed. He's a rocket.
Liam O'Connor, personal foul number
That's
4.
the 4th foul on O'Connor.
Levi Laverdier shooting 2.
Monmouth crowd can feel it. They won state championship 2 years ago in Class C over Mount View. Look to make it 2 state championships in 3 years. First one's good.
I know they lose Foyt, Oliveira, and Johnson, but they'll probably be back. Pretty good team next year.
You know, Coach Morrow will put the pieces together just like they did this season. They had some early losses, dealt with some early injuries. They kept the faith, stayed together, and here they are.
I think he's debating whether to call a timeout here on the make. And he is
does.
going to.
Monmouth timeout.
Full timeout on the floor. Monmouth Academy fans are feeling it. Join host Aislinn Sarnaki for season 3 of Borealis, Maine. Maine Public's Emmy Award-winning outdoor series. Whether hiking up to a beautiful vista or learning about Fly Rod Crosby, you'll experience Maine like never before. The new season starts April 2nd right here on Maine Public Television.
Fly Rod Crosby, a woman, I learned in the first broadcast.
That's right.
An important woman in Maine history.
Big figure.
Maine guide. Dave Cheever explained the history, of course.
First registered Maine guide.
There she is.
Yep. Tip of the cap to Fly Rod. But she was good at casting that fly rod.
Yeah, so one of the best fly fishermen, or fly fisher women around. So
legendary.
Pretty cool.
All right. Monmouth Academy huddled up out on the court. Their 5 players going over last minute instructions. Machias has a tall task ahead of him now. Down by 8, 26 ticks of the clock remaining.
William O'Connor's asking for him to roll the ball in instead of, I guess, going to roll a little faster though.
And now he takes off. O'Connor into the front court. Fitzsimmons deep 3 ball. Rattles around, no good. And we'll have a hold in the rebound action. Carter will shoot 2.
Carter's going to shoot 2. I think it might be on Foyt. No, sorry, not
Number
Foyt.
10,
Parsons.
Personal foul number 4.
4 on him.
Caden Carter shooting 2.
First one, no good.
And they've missed a lot of free throws here in the 4th quarter in particular, but in the overall in the game. And when you're down by 8, easy to look back on that.
Did a great job by Monmouth Academy. Jake Harmon fouled out. Foyt's dealt with foul trouble throughout this one. Liam Ennis had good minutes. And they've been able to outlast the taller Machias Bulldogs.
Gonna send Tyler Day back to the line. I told you in the pregame he's going to play critical minutes for this team. And here he is. Only 6 points, but controlled the basketballs, hit some clutch free throws here in the final minute plus.
Tyler Day shooting 2.
And Monmouth had that huge lead. Machias closed it all the way back down to just a 2-point advantage, but they never did tie it. Monmouth never did give up that lead.
Yeah, sometimes you use so much energy getting back in the game, it just doesn't leave you enough to finish it off. And really that cross lane drive where Levi Laverdier hit one floating it back across his body was a big play in this game. They cut it to 2. And
yeah, they'd gone a long time without scoring at that point.
That was a huge basket, tough shot. Almost if you're Machias, you're like, I'm glad he took that shot. It's an almost impossible make, and he made it.
Day gets 2 more. Lead is up to 10. O'Connor quickly into the front court, attacks the basket, misses another. Rebound Parsons, dribbles into the corner, and that's turned over right through Laverdier's hands. Wesley Bragg found himself with the ball, put it up, got fouled.
I think Laverdier might have fouled out there. Yeah, I think he did.
Foul number 2, Levi Laverdier. Personal foul number 5.
Into the game goes senior Tyler Johnson. Good move here.
Wesley Bragg shooting 2.
From Coach Morrill, he's going to give a big hug to his junior guard who just committed his 5th foul, but he just won him another goal ball.
Got Laverdier for 33.
I got him for 33 unofficially, but
wow. Have yourself a game in a state final. Levi Laverdier.
6 3-point makes.
Wesley Bragg makes 1.
Wade Morrill yelled, get the ball and hold it.
Second one missed. He just wants Foyt to hold it. And he's fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Fouls on number 50, Landon Barrett. Personal foul number 4. Rory Foyt shooting 2.
Really classy. Caden Carter down here giving high fives to all the Monmouth players on the floor. Always good to see.
Foyt makes the front end.
And that bench about to explode when the final 3.7 go off this clock.
Foyt misses one. And coach, what do we got? Say it hit the shot clock. Yeah, she blew it dead for hitting the shot clock, it looks like, but there's some question whether that bounce actually did or not. And
I mean,
much ado about nothing.
Yeah, put the ball in play. Who cares? Yeah, I think she's putting her hand up to say my mistake, but either way, 3 seconds, it's not going to matter.
And inbound to Fitzsimmons, and that's going to do it. Monmouth Academy Mustangs are your Class D boys state champions. You see the boys running down to celebrate with their student section. Soak it in, Monmouth. Another gold ball is coming home to the trophy case.
Someone's going to get Josh High, get him back for the handshake line. Almost got lost up there. Wade Morrill looking pretty emotional on the sideline. A different kind of emotion.
2 years ago, they won the state final. They had 1,000-point scorer Sammy Calder as the centerpiece of their team. This year is a little bit of a bumpier ride, as I mentioned before. This team has 5 losses, especially early in the season. But they kept it together, kept believing in themselves, and they are state champions once again. These boys from Monmouth, and a lot of winning the last 4 or 5 years. And you were right, BL. Levi Laverdier, 33 big points.
Yeah, that's elicited a 2 hands to the sky reaction from Coach Morrill, who's proud of his junior guard. He'll never forget today.